Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation following.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen. Here. Green. LaFour.
Here.
Mistrovich. Reindell.
Here.
Ricks.
Here.
Warren.
Here.
Councilman Mr. Avich informed us that he would be out of town today and not be able to get back in time. Motion be in order to excuse him for being out of town.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Also, Councilwoman Green informed us that she was not feeling well this evening and probably could not make the meeting. Would there be a motion to excuse her due to illness?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on that? We hope she feels better soon. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Approval of minutes for the city council meeting of February 17th would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have the approval of minutes for the special meeting of February 17th. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also have the special joint meeting of the library board and the city council on February 24th. Is there a motion for those minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion on that motion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have audience comments on any non-agenda items. If anybody would like to address the city council on non-agenda items, we will move on. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? If not, a motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on the motion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We have 5 items for consideration this evening. The first one being consideration of a special event request from Regs Heritage Festival. Mr. City Manager?
Council is scheduled to consider a special event request from the Historical Society for a Heritage Festival scheduled for Saturday, June 27th and Sunday, June 28th from 10 to 4 p.m. both days. This is the second year that RAGS member Don Graham, who's here tonight, has put together a Heritage Festival. The main 5 attractions have not changed. I did notice in the background brief I did not remove the Richmond Bees game, I think, from that first sentence there. There is no Richmond Bees game, home game this year, so that's not taking place. But the Vintage Tractor Show, which is number 2, will also include cars, potentially car display from pre-World War II cars. So that's a change in that. There's been more interest in the tractor show and potentially some cars coming. So last year they were able to fit all of the tractors on Park Street. This year, if you see in the motion and in the map, I kind of have BB Street closed as a potential overflow if they do get enough entrance. The green portion, which is essentially the same closure that we run for the community garage sale, seems to work pretty well. People can still get past, I think that's Washington, and get up to Festival Drive if they need to, but essentially they'll see a road closed ahead sign there at Washington, and then the other closure would be down by Pool Drive. So that's kind of the main change from this year, is the potential of adding in cars and having a little bit bigger show. Don is here to answer any questions. After the motion on the Heritage Festival, we also have a motion for the banner that they used last year.
Excuse me. Don, would you like to add anything to this?
Basically, just a thank you. We think that last year's event was pretty successful in terms of education and entertainment and exposure, both for RAGS and the park system of the city of Richmond. We think it was well received, particularly by children, but parents as well. And so we're here just to ask for permission to do it again, hopefully a little bit bigger and better. And as John indicated, there's a couple of antique car clubs that heard about what we did, and they'd like to participate. Don't have the full information on that, but it'll include Model A's and Model T's. We've kind of restricted it to pre-World War II, just to avoid the muscle car thing. We don't think that that's quite in fitting with RAGS and the goals of RAGS and so forth.
Very good. Very good. Any questions?
And do appreciate, I don't know if this is maybe inappropriate to say, but John Moore helped us quite a bit last year, guided us through all of this. It was new to me, dealing with the city and all of that sort of thing. Jim helped out, and so we do appreciate that very much on behalf of RAGS. So,
Any questions? We're good. Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the RAGS special event request for the Richmond Heritage Festival in conjunction with Log Cabin Days on Saturday, June 27th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Sunday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., along with the closure of Park Street from Stone to BB for both days, and the potential closing of BB Street from Pool Drive to Festival Drive, depending on turnout.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Any discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Do we have approval for the motion for the Across the Road banner? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request from RAGS to have an Across the Road banner in conjunction with their Heritage Festival to be displayed Friday, June 12th through Sunday, June 28th, 2020.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? That doesn't conflict with anything that we have all summer long?
Yep, no.
Are we talking having the other banner poles up by then?
We have the, we just received the MDOT permit, so we're good to go on that. We're just waiting for the contractor and the materials and things like that. We hope that they'll be up in May, but again, it's a material stocking issue, but according to, I think, the contractor, we thought about May. Jim is here if there's anything different.
Yeah. Are you aware of that, Don? There's going to be another set of poles by the fire department.
we're going to be, but I didn't know the details.
Yeah, there may be. So, I mean, if you want to change locations, if it is up, come see the administration. See John.
Good.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Item number 2 is consideration of the confirmation of the fire chief. Mr. City Manager.
Council is scheduled to consider confirming the appointment of Curtis Spence as fire chief for the city of Richmond. According to the city charter, the city council confirms the appointment of the fire chief who is selected by the fire department so long as the department remains volunteer. They had their elections back on February 19th, along with electing Curtis Spence to another term for chief. They also elected the following officers: Chief 2, Robert Reindell; Chief 3, Jeffrey Yelenich; Captain Gary Bertassi; Lieutenant Matt Ball; Lieutenant 2, Nick Yelenich; and Secretary Treasurer Scott Gray.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to confirm the appointment of Curtis Spence as fire chief for the city of Richmond in accordance with section 7.13 of the City of Richmond Charter for a 1-year term commencing on March 1st, 2020 and expiring February 28, 2021.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Chief, you have anything to say before we finalize this? Put you in for another year?
it was a quick first year.
It sure
Didn't seem like
was.
It's been a year already, but looking forward to the next year. Hopefully, we're going to have some things happen that are going to be beneficial to the fire department and the city. So keeping our fingers crossed on different avenues we're going down right now. But same line of officers, got a great group of officers right now. So just continue to work well with the city and look forward to working with the city for another year.
Very good, very good. Any other discussion, council? Appreciate Rob's, of course, right here. Appreciate you stepping back up again also as chief too. And all the other officers that John has mentioned, again, we appreciate their volunteerism. We all say what a great job the department does, and under your leadership, it is continuing to be a department that we can all be proud of. So, any other discussion? Any audience comments? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Make the year slow down a little slower this time, okay? Because it didn't seem like it went really, really fast. Item number 3, consideration of mayor's proclamation for the 100th birthday of Walter Terrell. Mr. City Manager.
Council is being requested to consider approving a request from the Activities Director at Meadow Lodge to recognize Walter Tyrell on his 100th birthday this March 17th.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the mayor's proclamation in recognition of the 100th birthday of Walter Tyrell.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? I don't believe I know Mr. Tyrell. He's a resident. I don't know that we know much more than that, other than he's reached that 100 mark.
Yep. World War II veteran and was injured in the Battle of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, yes, interesting. I think, John, if we can get a hold of the director that requested this, if we can find out a little bit more.
Sure.
I might be able to be available to go over and give them the
I'll
proclamation.
find out when they plan kind of presentations of this type, and certainly.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to do that. Any other discussion? Other than congratulations to Mr. Terrell on his 100th birthday. Amazing. Anything else from the audience? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Item number 4, consideration of wastewater treatment wet weather storage tank. Mr. City Manager.
Another equipment replacement request from the wastewater treatment plant. Again, kind of updating some of the older equipment. And we have 2 quotes on a valve actuator that include freight installation and startup. We're recommending the low quote. And Jim Getzinger is here tonight if you have questions on what the valve actuators do.
That's not something that you know?
I do. I apologize. It's been hectic and do not understand.
Okay, is there a motion before discussion?
I make the motion to authorize the expense of $7,795 for the purchase and installation of a valve actuator from System Specialties with the expense charged to the appropriate line item in the wastewater treatment plant equipment replacement fund.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on this? Definitely an item that we budgeted for and talked about, but it's something that just happens to slip my mind. Just exactly what is this valve actuator?
The wet weather storage tank, of course, handles excess flow during heavy rain events, typically. And there's the way that flow is directed to the storage tank is through this valve, essentially like a weir kind of. So you raise and lower it to send more or less flow to that tank. That gate valve or knife valve is heavy. It's big, and with flow pushing against it, it's hard to turn. So this is essentially just a mechanical assist to help manually adjust the level. It's not an automatic thing. They manually set the elevation for that, and this is just turns the handle, if you will, it's part of the equipment. So
Yeah.
you can turn it manually, solely manually, or with this, and it's a lot of work and it's a hazard without this, because you've got to have two men on it, and if it's icy out, I mean, you'd have a hard time
Yeah.
getting enough leverage on that.
Yeah. It can't be that old. I mean, it's not
It's
that
not.
expensive compared to other things we've had to
Yeah.
buy out there, but it can't be that old because the tank's not really that old.
From 2006, yeah, it's not.
6, okay.
And I asked that question, why, and their answer was really, I mean, for equipment, you really only expect 15 to 20 years, so we're
Okay.
really
We're
not
right
that
there.
far off of
Yeah.
that.
No, not at all.
Because I did ask that same question. Doesn't seem very old, but
Yeah.
it's old enough that it could start failing. We were still surprised by it, and sometimes it just happens. It doesn't last as long as you'd like it to. So hopefully this next one will last longer.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any other discussion? Any audience participation? Kids, you don't have anything on this? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Our last item, consideration of scheduling budget workshops. Mr. City Manager?
Council is being requested to consider scheduling approximately 3 to 4 budget workshop meeting dates during the months of April and May. In the past couple of years, we've scheduled those meeting dates in conjunction with existing council dates, but we have also provided the April and May calendar pages in case that doesn't work this year. The second meeting in April would be April 20th, and then the 2 meetings in May would be May 4th and May 18th.
Very good. Is there a motion, or would you like to drop the rules and discuss those dates?
Drop the rules.
Huh?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can have discussion before.
Discussion?
Yeah,
Okay.
discussion before.
Anybody have any issues with that? It has worked out for us in the past,
Yeah, I think so.
you know? We're already here, we might as well spend another 3 or 4 hours and some evenings to get it done and over with.
And I think we're efficient by doing it that way. too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Start those at 6, right?
Were we doing 5:30?
5:30?
5:30?
We were
If we can,
5:30.
If we can swing
is
it.
that pushing you, John?
Yeah.
Is that-
Is that pushing you at 5:30? No, you're still good?
I'm
And Jamie and Mike should be good, I think. I
Yeah,
don't think they have
5:30 's
issues with that time of day
Is that enough
in the
nap time?
past.
Yeah, and if they do have a problem,
that,
we'll
but-
we'll adjust.
Yeah, we'll move. Not a problem.
5:30 is good.
Okay, let's have a motion then.
I'll make motion to schedule following budget workshop meetings, dates to review and modify the city manager's proposed fiscal year 2020-21 city budget as necessary. The dates will be as follows: April 20th, May 4th, and May 18th, beginning at 5:30 PM.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any other discussion? Any audience participation? Back to the table. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Excuse me. City manager's comments, sir.
I would just like to thank everyone in here in Richmond for the support they provided me last week with the passing of my father.
Okay, we'll move on to council comments. Excuse me. Dennis.
Just want to congratulate the Richmond High School wrestling team for taking state runner-up this year. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it quite done, but they came close, and hopefully they can make it back again. And then the cheerleaders also being regional champs, and they're heading off to states.
Next
over in-
weekend?
Yep, Grand Rapids. So
Okay.
they'll be going for their, hopefully, second state championship in a row.
Yeah, and also both
Bowling team.
Bowling.
men's and women's bowling is qualified for
For the
next
state.
weekend, is it?
Yeah.
Is it on the weekend? Okay.
Saturday.
Where, do you have any idea where they go?
It is at the Deltaplex
No, the bowling.
Bowling. Oh, bowling's down in Jackson.
Jackson?
Airport
Okay.
lanes.
So, yeah, we wish the best of luck to all of them, too.
Yeah, and you can watch most of these events on
high school channel?
and the high school
Yeah.
sports channel.
Yeah, and it really wasn't that expensive, or we could all go to
I got
John's
it.
house.
Come to my house. I got it.
Yeah. He's probably gonna charge us to get in. I think he paid $10 to get the,
$20 a head to get in.
yeah, there you
You
go.
can do like a can drive, you can set up.
Yeah.
Donut can do or something.
Okay. Emily?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
John?
Nothing.
Rob?
Nothing to add.
I have nothing. We'll go to the calendar. Today being March 2nd, we have a meeting tomorrow night of the Recreation Board here at 7 o'clock. And this weekend, the 7th, is the Richmond Police Officers Spring Fling. I'm not sure if tickets are still available or not. Call 727-1011, see if there's any tickets still available for that. That's this Saturday night, the 7th. Daylight saving time is already this coming Sunday, the 8th. So we changed the time there, and we remind you to check your smoke detectors also at the same time. Library Board meeting will be a week from tonight on the 9th. The Cable Commission will meet at 7 o'clock on the 10th here at City Hall. And on the 12th, I believe there is a Planning Commission meeting?
Yes.
Okay. That is at 7 o'clock on the 12th here at City Hall. And the Historical Society will be having their historic tea this a week from this Saturday on the 14th. And of course, 2 weeks from tonight will be the next regular scheduled meeting of the City Council. If we have anything else. Hall walking is still going on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. I understand they're averaging quite a few,
About 50 people,
about
I
50
think.
people
Yeah, it's
walking
been
the
a very
halls.
good year.
So it's $1. While the weather is still kind of lousy out, the Richmond Community Schools and the Richmond Recreation Department has been working together through the winter. Those halls are open for walking from 6 to 8 o'clock, and that's at the Richmond Middle School. We talked about the Spring Fling, that's this week, and that, we have another one here? This must be a
It's
new
the
one.
men's event for Rags opposite the T.
Oh, okay. And then also the Easter Egg Scramble that Parks and Recreation will be putting on. That will be on Saturday, April 4th, beginning at 10:30 a.m. sharp. And we can guarantee you that our Recreation Department Director starts at 10:30 sharp. So I would be there at least 15 minutes earlier to get into there. Is there anything else that we need to bring up on our calendar? Okay, we move on. We do have a closed session this evening. We need a motion to go into closed session for negotiations. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to convene into closed session in accordance with Section 8C of the Michigan Open Meetings Act, Public Act 267 of 1976, as amended, for strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement as requested by administration.
Support. Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, roll call, please.
Green is absent. LaFour.
Yes.
Mistrovich is absent. Rindell.
Yes.
Ricks.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
The motion passes. We will go into closed session. Okay, we need to have a motion to move back into open session. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to reconvene in open session.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move now on to other business. Is there any other business of the city council?
I'll make a motion to approve the tentative agreement with the POLC command signed February 20th, 2020.
Support.
What's been made and supported? Is there any discussion on the motion? Being not, appreciate, John, the work that you and your administration staff has done on the command
Thank you.
contract. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Motion to adjourn and be in order.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.